Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Andrea and I have been selling on Etsy for over 8 years. I have an embroidery business on Etsy and that is what I do. So on this YouTube channel, I share best practices, tips for growing your shop, day in the lives. Basically, we just talk a lot about Etsy. So if that is what you are interested in, you are in the right place. Today specifically, we have a very fun video lined up. We are going to be talking about the secret to getting sales on Etsy. Okay, so one thing you guys need to know about me is that I am a big home projects person, which I'm gonna link this all back to Etsy, don't you worry. I'm a really big home projects person and I love to do home projects. I love to do them the right way. And so basically back in the day, I used to always, like before I really knew anything about home projects, before I did them the right way, I would always be looking for the easy way out. I can remember specifically a time which it came back full circle. A time whenever I was painting a set of cabinets in our house and I just literally, I was like, okay, what paint, I remember I asked the guy this, what paint can I buy that makes it to where I don't have to sand, I don't have to prime, I can just paint my cabinets. Which if you've ever done a home projects, which I ended up repainting those cabinets later, and I had to sand off all that paint and then prime them, and then I painted it with a good cabinet paint. But if you have ever done any projects the right way, you're listening to this and you're laughing because there's not a world where you can paint cabinets without sanding them or stripping them. But basically you have to get the other stuff off. And there is no secret. There is no secret paint that gets you finished cabinets that look amazing like painted cabinets should without sanding and priming. So as you can guess, I'm gonna tell you guys that Etsy is the exact same way. I think that sometimes when people are asking about the secret to Etsy, they're asking for what I was asking for back in the day, which is something that doesn't exist. I think they're asking for like this tip, like seriously, I think sometimes people want me to say like, okay, if you hold the space bar and control whenever you press publish on your listing, it just skyrockets to the top, which obviously isn't true. And I really think that people are looking for the magic paint can that makes it to where they don't have to do any work and they can just paint their cabinets and it looks amazing, which is what I wanted. And I'm here to tell you that it is not true for painting cabinets and it is not true for Etsy either. So do not hear what I'm not saying. There are a lot of best practices and strategies, ones that we are going to talk about next, that make your odds higher. They make your odds better. And there's also a lot of things that people can and do waste their time on that has no impact on your rank in search or very little impact on your rank in search, but people spend way too much time on it. So just know that like what I am trying to say when I tell that story and what I'm trying to drive the point across is that there's no magic answer for getting the secret to selling on Etsy. However, there are a lot of little things that you can do, like sanding and priming, that make it to where your success, your odds of success are going to be much higher on Etsy, which is what we're going to talk about now. The first strategy that I absolutely love is duplicating listings. Basically, you just make an exact copy of a listing and try out new thumbnails, try out new keywords. I have a whole video on this channel all about how to duplicate listings and why you should. But for strategy's sake, I just really love this strategy for getting more of my listings out into the world and also testing thumbnails and all that kind of stuff. This is a strategy, a growth strategy that I really, sorry, I tucked my hands up in my sweater. I really love for Etsy specifically. I will link that video in the description below so that you can see it, but definitely love duplicating listings as a strategy for Etsy. The next strategy that I think is very important is trend tracking. So this is basically just looking at trends in your niche, looking at items that people are buying and searching for that you can make with your craft in your niche, and then creating listings and items directly towards those trends. This is something that we see over and over again as a profitable move in our own shop. I can think of 2 examples where this has paid off big time. And they are my nursing jacket and my collar crew neck, my initial collar crew neck. Both of those listings have more or less taken off because they are a trend that people are looking for. Nursing jackets are trending right now. I don't really know why, but they are. And same with embroidery along the collar of a shirt is very, very trendy right now. And so listing items towards those trends, tracking those trends, and catering our listings to it has proven to be a very profitable strategy for our Etsy shop and definitely has helped with getting sales. The next thing that I absolutely love is keywords. Obviously, if you hang out on this channel, and this kind of goes with the trend tracking thing, I talk about keywords a lot. Having very accurate and strong keywords for your listings really, really will help you a lot when it comes to getting more sales on Etsy. I dive into keywords and how the search engine works and all that kind of stuff on this channel. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to subscribe and also check out my free Etsy masterclass. We dive into optimization as a whole, what you can do for your shop, what you can do for your listings for optimization so that you can get more sales. This is definitely considered a secret in my book, a secret to getting sales, because whenever I worked on my keywords, I doubled my revenue the following year just by adding keywords that were strong and relevant. So I definitely recommend really, really focusing on your keywords and looking for keywords that are being proved in the marketplace, like by other competitors in your niche, and what people are searching for. In addition to keywords, I think that you should optimize all different parts of your listing. So we talk about that a lot on this channel, basically saying that it's not just keywords whenever we talk about SEO. So basically you're going to need to be optimizing your attributes, your ship times. Every little part of your listing needs to be optimized in order to get sales on Etsy, not just your keywords. This also includes, which is my next point, this also includes photos. So photos, having compelling listing photos, making sure that they are photos that people really want to click on, are very, very important for your Etsy listings. I am a huge believer that you need to have good photos for your Etsy shop. So making sure that you are optimizing your listing. Again, we cover that in that masterclass, which is linked in the description below. Making sure that you have optimized your listings to no end, and also you have very compelling listing photos are really, really important for getting sales on Etsy. The last tip I have for this video, though it is not the last strategy that you can use for your Etsy shop, but the last tip I have for this video is to make sure that you have both fast and accurate ship times. So you want to make sure that you are shipping your orders on time. It's very, very important for Star Seller, but also important for your placement in the algorithm, and also that your items are shipping as fast as you can ship them. That is very, very important. So you want to make sure that your times are accurate and fast. Like I said, this is a lot. There is not one secret to selling on Etsy. I just gave you, I think, 8 or 7. I don't know how many that was, but I gave you a lot. And those are just some of my favorite strategies for getting sales on Etsy. I want to double down and basically hone in on the fact that there is not one secret. There's not one button to press. There's not one thing that makes your listings more likely to take off. It is a combination of a lot of strategies. I told you that I came from wedding photography. If you have been on this channel before, you know that I came from wedding photography. I used to be a wedding photographer. There is not one thing that makes a good wedding photographer. I like to garden. There is not one thing that makes a garden grow. It is never just one thing. If you're getting into something and you are thinking, okay, like what's the one secret? What's the one thing I can do to make this skyrocket or work? You are looking down the wrong path, and it is the same thing for Etsy. There is not one specific secret. Unfortunately, it is just doing all of it. It's doing the listing photos, the keywords, shipping orders in time, having amazing customer service. I didn't even mention that one. Very important. Having amazing customer service, duplicating your listings, tracking out trends. And I'm not trying to overwhelm you with this. It is not something that needs to all be done at one time. Again, this is over 8 years and we are still finding ways to learn and get more sales and stuff that's really, really working. But do just know that there is not something that the top 1% of Etsy sellers are doing that they're just keeping from you. Like, I get really frustrated whenever I see Pinterest graphics or blog posts titled like, what the top 1% Etsy sellers don't want you to know. There's nothing like that. I can tell you that my shop is in the top 0.01% of Etsy sellers as a whole. I'm not saying that to brag, but I'm telling you that if there is that thing, I also don't know it. I am being straight up honest with you. It is a mixture of a lot of things, and I absolutely want you guys to know that because I want your shops to grow as well. It is a mixture of all of it. There is no secrets. There's no, not secrets, because there are strategies. There are absolutely strategies. But there's not shortcuts. There's not shortcuts in Etsy, just like there's not shortcuts in anything else. And so I just want to double down, let you guys know that there's not something that the top 1% is keeping from you. It's just that there is a recipe for what makes up a good Etsy shop, and it takes all the ingredients. So my goal on this channel is to share those best practices with you and make it to where you can grow your Etsy shop even easier and bigger and better and faster than you ever thought, but never to be unrealistic with you guys about what it takes to have a good Etsy shop that is selling a lot of stuff. So if that is what you're interested in, I know that this video could be a bummer because obviously it would be easier if there was you press the space bar and control and option and A at the same time and then hit publish and then it worked. That would obviously be amazing, but that is not true. But I want to keep it realistic with you guys on this channel, and it's always my goal to bring you guys Etsy information that is simple yet simple and easy to implement in your own business while you guys grow your Etsy shops. If that is what you're interested in, please subscribe, check out my masterclass. I would love to hang out with you more. Thank you so much for watching.